Hey, what's up, guys? It's D. Um, I think today is September the 21st, or maybe the 20th. No, I think the 21st. I think 2018. Um, One of the subjects that I am into is talking about the Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, the New World Order, and kind of breaking down those global elites. When we're talking about, nothing is written down, so but when we're talking about global elites, the name that keeps coming up is the Rockefellers. Of course, John D. Of course, David Rockefeller. Of course, so many Rockefellers. Not everybody is connected to the elite Rockefellers, even though their family line is extended. But we do know that core group of the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and we know their organizations that they built in the 70s, the Trilateral Commission. We know about the Council on Foreign Relations. We know about the Bilderberg groups. We know about Davos in Switzerland. We know about their plan for world management. But I think it's something that many don't look at when they think about the elite, and that is the technocracy side of it. And I would just define technocracy, and this is just my definition, so it might not be accurate, but to me, it's a world ran by the elite of technology, whether that be science, whether that be medicine, whether that be, and it's also ran by the bankers, because we know that the bankers will be essential in bringing about a new world order that the Bible speaks about, a mark of a beast, a new world order, excuse me, that will control the money system, a new world order that will control the buying and the selling, the rich and the poor. So we see how important that is. We see that the bankers are involved with the movers and shakers like the Rockefellers. We see that they are involved, really, to me, controlling the politicians. That they control the politicians, and that leads up to, and this has been going on for years. This is 200 year plans, and I think it's been really pushed heavy, starting about the 1940s on up, and they had those meetings in the 60s and in the 70s when they kicked off the Trilateral Commission. So, and that leads us up to today. And we know what Bush said back in the 90s. It will be a new world order, the first George Bush. So I think now, though, we see technocracy rising. If you guys aren't familiar with Agenda 21, sustainable development, and Agenda 2030, you should be familiar with it, because, in fact, what I view that as is the elite having total control of resources. That is food, that is water, that is you, and there are various regulations and rules, and they're going to be centralized control of it. We see in AI that they're coming up with artificial intelligence is proven and in a crazy speed. We know about MIT. We know about the robotic side of it, but also just the surveillance. Also, just I think down in Texas, in Dallas, I think they're going to have the street lights. Toyota is partnering with, I don't know if it's the city of Dallas or somebody else, where they're going to have, I want to say, surveillance cameras or some type of sensors in the surveillance sensors in the streetlights. You can look that story up online. So what we're going to see is more and more of our cities become in AI cities, technically involved cities. And a lot of your politicians are signing on to these sustainable development plans, the going green. All of this is the big hoax toward a new world order, one world system. All of it is. One of the things I see now is the building up of downtowns, the building up of certain communities. Why is that? Because they want people to be centralized in a certain area. Land ownership will soon be a thing of the past, because they want to control the land. They want to control the resources. And they want you in a centralized location, hooked to technology, hooked to your phones, not really seeing what's coming. And with that, we have AI robotics taking jobs. I seen yesterday a video, and I actually seen a video similar to that a couple months ago, but you had a self-driving 18-wheeler, and we know that they're coming out with self-driving automobiles, and we got not self-made, robot driving cars, robot driving automobiles, AI. Let's just say AI. AI machines making pizzas. AI working in warehouses. And I just read a story yesterday from Amazon via the Time magazine that Amazon expects to roll out 3,000 3,000 stores with no cashiers. McDonald's said that too about a year ago. So we're seeing society and the fabric of society change, where unemployment will be increased, and that leads to a universal basic income. And one thing about the universal basic income, it sounds good, but whenever you have the technocrats, whenever you have the evil ones, whenever you have those who are a part of the cabal, a part of that certain group, whenever you have them controlling the money, and of course they've been doing that since the beginning of time in essence, but whenever you have them rationing out the money, I guarantee it's a catch-22. I guarantee it is a catch-22 with that. And then when you take a look at the Deagle.com forecast of America, I think it's 2021 or 2025. They project that America's going to be 200 million people short. Meaning, what will happen to all these people? It seemed like they expect some type of catastrophe to happen to wipe out the people. And when you talk about this universal basic income, guys, it's something very serious with that. I think if you're a believer in God, if you're a believer in Yeshua, you shouldn't expect to get this money, because these are the same people that hate your God. These are the same people that hate your Christ. These are the same people that hate your love. These are the same people that hate your belief system. These are the same people that are increasing poverty, that are increasing homelessness. So why would they solve problems for those that they don't like? When the stuff hits the fan, when the dollar collapses, when they switch the system to a universal basic income, whether that be a card, whether that be a chip, whether that be something like that, you shouldn't expect to get this money. And you never heard this. You probably won't hear this in your local church, but why would they give money to people they do not like religiously? I believe this universal basic income is spiritual. And I believe that if you believe in God, if you're against homosexuality, if you're against bestiality, if you support marriage between a man and a woman, you're going to be cut off from receiving this money. Because what I think is going to happen is, I believe that the money is going to be tied to obedience to the system. So you might not have a quote-unquote job, but they will produce some type of job for you in order for you to get this money. Nowhere in society usually do you get something for nothing. Maybe with God, sometimes He can bless you and it's not of your doing. But in society generally, you don't never get something for nothing. So we see that that's taking place. So I think if you're a believer right now, and this is the meat of my video, if you're a believer right now, you need to be sharing this conscious information, this Agenda 21 information, this Agenda 2030 information, this sustainable development. In fact, it's an Agenda 21 book on sustainable development. And when you read these type of books and these type of articles, the NASA War document, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, when you read these documents, you have to put them in a proper context, because the document may say we want to solve homelessness, we want to do this, that, and the other. Those things sound good, but when you really start to see how they plan to do it, then you get to say, okay, hold on, that doesn't sound right. So you have to dig farther than the title to really see what we're up against. We know that Christ said persecution will increase. He said because of sin, many will hate each other, and those things are coming. Wars, and I believe possibly race wars, because when people cannot feed themselves, when they cannot feed their families, when they see that those jobs are going away, when it's, I'm making this up, but when it's 50,000 jobs for 100,000 people, the 50,000 without work are going to be disgruntled with the 50,000 that did get those jobs. So we have to understand that some tough days are coming. But as believers in the Most High God, Yahweh, as believers in His Son Yeshua, as lovers of others and ourselves, we're going to have to share this information with others. And I really believe this, guys. I know this sounds funny. Believers are going to have to start storing up food right now. I mean, a lot of it. Possibly store up arms. If you're in the state and you have you're legal to carry. Store up in your faith. Get the essentials that the believers will need. The Pampers for the babies. The clothes for the babies. This, that, and the other. We are going to have to take care of each other in this current system that is about to come, because this system will do nothing but increase poverty, increase war, increase hate, increase rage, increase those things, because people are not going to be able really to survive. And then after that, what you have is the people have to create, I believe, some type of jobs within the circle of believers. We're going to have to separate from the world. We're going to have to take a cue from the Amish. And I know that sounds crazy, but listen to me, guys. We're not going to be a part of this agenda. We're not going to be a part of this society that's coming. I guarantee it. I'm going to tell you why. Because this agenda is going to say, if you don't believe in loving our religions, if you don't believe in loving all sex, if you don't believe in, being able to have sex with your animal, if you don't believe in that, you will not exist in our society. That's what they're going to say. So as believers right now, we must see how we're going to survive. And people are not going to like this, but these vain ambitions of master's degrees and that stuff, it don't matter, guys. It don't matter. It's short-sighted. People are getting degrees thinking about the next 10 years when these people are planning total world control for the next 50 to 100 years. So as believers, we must talk about this stuff. I've only ran into a handful of pastors and some even on YouTube who are discussing these things. Most are asking for tithes and offerings and going about the work of God in that aspect. But for those who are watchers, the book of Ezekiel, and you do not warn the people what's coming to the land, one could say that blood will be on your hands. So as a people, we need to unite, to talk, to see how we're going to handle what's coming, store up food for each other, and have a sense of communal love for each other, because these days are coming. Study Agenda 21, study Agenda 30. Study the NASA War document. Study Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Study the elite meeting back in 1969 with Dr. Richard Day, I think, the former head of Planned Parenthood. Go back and study these documents, because these documents tell about what is to come. Be blessed, guys. Stay prayed up and take care.